The rain had begun long before dusk, a soft, persistent reading against the floor-to-ceiling glass walls of Chief Nwosu's penthouse office. From up here, the lights of Lagos glittered like scattered diamonds, but tonight, they brought no comfort. Nwosu sat behind his ebony desk, a glass of Remy Martin in his hand. The warmth of the cognac was nothing compared to the heat in his chest. That slow burning anger that came only when someone dared to betray him. He was a man who had built his empire with ruthless precision, brick by brick, deal by deal. From his early days as a small-time trader in Onitsha, hustling electronics and spare parts, to owning construction firms, oil contracts, and real estate portfolios that stretched across Nigeria. Chief Nwosu had always known one rule: loyalty is everything. And Mr. Okoro, the man who had been by his side for 12 years, had just broken that rule. It started with whispers, a quiet phone call from an accountant who owed him a favor, a rumor from a driver who overheard a conversation at a Victoria Island restaurant. But whispers had a way of becoming storms, and by the time Nwosu's lawyer confirmed it, the truth was already choking him. Okoro had sold him out. The man had been meeting in secret with Chike and Sons, Nwosu's oldest and most dangerous rivals. The contract they sold wasn't just a deal, it was the crown jewel in Nwosu's empire, a billion-naira project that would have cemented his dominance for years. The betrayal had a ripple effect. By morning, the media was awash with headlines: financial irregularities in Chief Nwosu's company, whistleblowers allege corruption, government probes possible fraud. The vultures smelled blood. Board members began avoiding his calls. Even old friends kept their distance. In Lagos, power was like perfume, intoxicating when strong, suffocating when it faded. That night, Nwosu called a meeting, not at his office, but at a dimly lit bar in Yaba, a place where deals were sealed over cheap beer and quiet threat. Obi, his most trusted fixer, was already there, nursing a bottle of Star. "They think you're finished," Obi said without preamble, as Nwosu sat opposite him. Nwosu's lips curved into something between a smile and a snarl. "Let them think it. They forget that I built this empire from nothing. And a man who built from nothing knows how to rebuild by any means necessary." Obi reached into his briefcase and slid a thick brown envelope across the table. "These will interest you." Inside were photographs. Okoro shaking hands with executives from Chike and Sons, scanned documents showing money transfer to offshore accounts, and one picture that made Nwosu pause: the smiling face of Honorable Bamidele, a high-ranking government official who had been one of his strongest allies, or so he thought. "He's been feeding them information for years," Obi said. Okoro was just the final move. Nwosu's mind sharpened like a blade. This wasn't just business treachery. This was a coordinated strike. And somewhere in the shadows was the architect, pulling every string. The weeks that followed were wild. Nwosu moved like a ghost, planting rumors, bribing low-level clerks for confidential files, leaking damaging information about his enemies. He whispered poison into the right ears and watched alliances crumble. But the more he fought back, the more he realized this wasn't just about destroying his empire. It was about destroying him. Then came the call. An unlisted number, a voice, smooth as silk, with just enough venom to chill the blood. "You still don't know who I am, do you?" "Speak," Nwosu growled. "I was there, Chief, when you were nothing. You promised me the world and left me in the gutter. You forgot me, but I never forgot you." The line went there, and that was it. The person hung up. That night, sleep avoided him. He wandered through his silent mansion, past marble floors and gold accents. past portraits of himself with presidents and business leaders. But the voice haunted him. Who could hate him enough to orchestrate this? The list was long. Men has outsmarted, outbid, humiliated him, but this was personal. The attacks escalated. His son Chuka came home from the university with a black eye. Someone had approached him, asking about the crimes of Chief Nwosu. His wife, Adaeze, grew distant, her eyes shadowed with worry. And still, the mystery figure pulled strings in the dark. Finally, one evening, Adaeze stood at the window, her voice trembling. It is time you know the person behind all of this. This is someone you once called family. The air froze. And then, stepping from the shadows, came the man Nwosu thought was long dead, Uchenna, his elder brother. I survived because I learned how to disappear. Uchenna said coldly, 20 years ago, you stole from me. The money, the business, you left me with nothing, and I swore I would make you pay. Nwosu felt the ground shift beneath him. The web, the betrayals, the precision of every strike. It was all Uchenna. From that moment, the war was no longer about Okoro or Bamidele or even Chike and Sons. It was about brother against brother. A field that scorched everything it touched. Businesses collapsed, accounts drained, allies scattered, and in the end, both men found themselves standing in the ruins of everything they built. That's when the truth emerged. They had both been played. The real mastermind, the one who had gained the most from their destruction, was Honorable Bamidele. Using their field as cover, he had seized their assets through government seizures and backdoor deals. One rainy night, Nwosu tracked Uchenna to an abandoned warehouse. They stood face to face, neither man blinking. I wanted you to suffer, Uchenna said, his voice flat. But I didn't think we'd both lose everything and I will never beg for forgiveness, Nwosu replied. But we have a bigger enemy now. Sirens wailed in the distance. The police sent by Bamidele to clean up the last loose ends. The brothers looked at each other. A silent argument passed between them. The sirens grew louder, slicing through the rain as if the night itself was being torn apart. Another set of footsteps in the rain. Out of the shadows emerged Honorable Bamidele, umbrella in hand, smiling like a man watching the last act of a play he had written. You two were always so predictable, Bamidele said smoothly. Brothers, tearing each other apart. It made my job so easy. While you fought, I took everything. Your companies, your contracts, even your friends. And now the police will clean up what's left. Uchenna's fist clenched. Nwosu's jaw tightened. In that moment, the brothers looked at each other and saw the truth. The real enemy was standing right in front of them. No words were exchanged. They moved together, like they once had as boys in the bustling streets of Onitsha, fighting side by side against bigger foes. The fight was swift, brutal. Bamidele never expected unity, and by the time he hit the ground, the rain was washing away the blood from his lip. The sirens were nearly on them now. Flashing blue lights spilled into the warehouse as police cars skidded to a stop outside. Nwosu and Uchenna knew there would be no running. What happens now? Uchenna asked quietly. We face it, Nwosu said, his voice calm. We've lost the empire but not ourselves. And one thing they can never take is the truth. The police stormed in, weapons raised, shouts echoing. The brothers stepped forward together, unarmed, heads high. As they were led into the rain, side by side in handcuffs, Nwosu's voice cut through the night, not to his brother, but to the officers, to the reporters who would soon be writing the headlines. to the city itself. Power built on betrayal will always crumble, but even the broken can rise again if they stand together. The doors of the police van slammed shut. Inside, the brothers exchanged one last look, not of love, not yet, but of understanding. Outside, the rain kept falling, washing the city clean. For the first time in a long time, Chief Nwosu smiled, not because he had won, but because the war was finally over. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe to my channel for more. And as you do so, may God bless you. Thank you. Bye.